that we added a little bit toward the end, and so we've been very pleased with the response we've gotten. This is the fifth in a series of 6 or 7 what we call food safety signature workshops that we were hosting just prior to or at various meetings around the country this year. We've had tremendous response. For each of these, we've tried to bring in an external speaker outside of the company to bring some insights into some issues that affect their laboratories or that are very current topical issues. And today we're going to talk a good bit about lab efficiency, about some salmonella issues that I'm going to give you some data on. Now, if you haven't signed up, I'll invite each of you to come tomorrow night to our 11th annual bioMérieux Educational Symposia. We usually have, like last year, we had over 400 people come to that. It will be actually downstairs here on the first floor. If you want to come to that and you haven't registered, please go by the booth tomorrow and sign up for that. That will be a strictly educational symposia. It has nothing to do with bioMérieux other than we sponsor it. We have 4 fabulous speakers who are real senior leaders in the food safety community, and they will be talking about some very, very important issues. And afterwards, we'll have a real nice dinner and drinks and some socializing that you can do. But again, that's a strictly educational symposium. This is mostly educational, but I am going to share a little bit of data about one of our products that we're quite happy with. So, with that said, I want to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Mohammed. And Mohammed, I just have blanked out on your last name.
Mohammed Ahmed.
Mohammed Ahmed, I apologize. He's going to talk to you about, he's our lean efficiency expert, and he's going to talk to you about how things that we've seen and studies we've done in lab efficiency, and share some of that with you. Mohammed?
Thank you very much, Stan. Thanks. Hello, everyone. Thanks, Stan. Thank you very much for introducing me, and welcome to the workshop, the symposium on workflow optimization as well as pathogen testing. This is going to be a very short presentation. I'm not going to bore you with all the data and all the analysis that we did during our study last year, but there's some good information that I plan to share with you all today that will be very beneficial from an educational as well as from a lab operational point of view. So with that said, let me go ahead, just change the slide over here. Okay, the topic today is workflow optimization, optimizing the salmonella process. And as Stan has already introduced me, I'm a certified Lean Six Sigma black belt. I have been working with bioMérieux for almost a year now, improving and optimizing, streamlining laboratory performances, laboratory operations, using the best tools available out there in the world of internationally recognized Lean and Six Sigma methodologies. The area of expertise, which include Lean Enterprise, Six Sigma, as well as I'm proficient to do Kaizen workshops, which are quick to do workshops. We come in, we facilitate, we work with your team in a matter of days. There's a rapid improvement that is provided that really improves the operation, not only from a customer's perspective, but also from lab operations and cost reductions. The other techniques that I expertise on is advanced statistical techniques, which includes SPC, MSA, and design of experiments. And then business process management, business analysis, process management is where my skill set lies. The agenda for today, I have it really simple, short enough. What is workflow optimization? I'm going to talk about that, the methodology, which is Lean and Six Sigma that we use during all our project works, as well as the study that was done on optimizing the salmonella protocol, which resulted in a gain of efficiency and effectiveness in a lab environment. At the end, we'll wrap up with any question and answers. Introduction to workflow. Why exactly your lab need workflow optimization? You know, what are the benefits that your lab can achieve going through the whole process of workflow optimization. As you all will agree, today there are many challenges that a micro lab is faced to. It's not just maximizing throughput or reducing the existing waste that lies in the system. In addition to all these, there's a shortening of turnaround time that is required by the customer. The customers are really standing outside of the door, waiting, knocking on the door, asking for accurate results in the shortest amount of time that can be, available. Efficiency, allocating the laboratory staff in order to do more with less. What we have seen, working in microbiology labs is the way microlab work is there's a very high volatility that has been noticed. You see these spikes. The type of samples that arrive and the volume of samples that arrive varies from day to day, from shift to shift on a weekly basis. And this is the biggest problem that any supervisor, any manager, and even the directors face when it comes to microlab. This is where we really focus on how to tackle this volatility in order to provide the labs with the best possible solution available out there. And every lab is unique. Every lab has their own issues. That's where we kind of focus on and eliminate the significant or the chronic issues that your lab has been focusing on. The other areas that we really tie in are timely reporting of relevant information, adhering to quality standards, increasing regulatory compliances. All this is done not ensuring that the quality is not being affected. The benefits that our customers have seen in past, they range from they have seen increased efficiency, increased quality, increased productivity, and increased labor utilization. At the same time, working with these tools, we were able to provide our customers with reduced turnaround time, that is for sure, reduced errors and waste, reduced cost, and the number one issue from a tactical level, which is the reduced false positives and false negatives that are seen on a daily basis when it comes to testing the various samples received in microlabs. What does Lean and Six Sigma mean? What exactly, how do they contribute into the micro lab? These methodologies, even though they were developed, they were brought into existence in the manufacturing world back in the 1940s. The whole thing started with Toyota coming up with Lean concepts, moving on to Motorola, building up the Six Sigma tools. That's where, the whole Six Sigma and Lean existed back until 1990s. Until then, it was all these tools were just used in the manufacturing world. You need to have an assembly line in order to use these tools. But later on, since 1990s, many hospitals, insurance companies, micro labs, hospital clinics, all these service-related operations really saw the benefit that exists in these tools. And using simple tools like 5S, value stream mapping, as well as spaghetti analysis, the micro labs were able to gain huge efficiency gain. And this is the trend. Right now, as of today, for micro labs, I would say that this is a necessity. Having the Six Sigma and Lean-oriented environment has become a necessity because out there, the customers really want us to do more with less. The economy is that this is what the economy is asking, this is what the customers are asking, and our customers previous in past were able to see some good benefits come out from assessments. What the unique thing that we have done, working with bioMérieux, we were able to handpick or cherry pick the best available tools, and we really work with microbiologists. bioMérieux being a microbiology company, having the long history, we are a microbiology, we have many dedicated microbiologists who are also green belts at the same time. So I work with these microbiologists in order to ensure that the tools that we pick from a process design point of view really match your industry, really meet your demands. And that's where we really focus on working with these tools as well as the microbiology specialists. Any questions so far? Okay, hope I'm not boring you again. It's immediately after lunchtime. Just let me know if I'm going fast or slow so that I can, tune up my speed as well. The typical Lean Six Sigma benefits, there's a decrease of turnaround time anywhere ranging from 50 to 90% that our customers have seen in past, decreased manual errors and cross-contamination by 50%, streamlining the reference method. This is another, a good opportunity for improvement that we work on when we work with our customers. And the last but not the least is we really decrease cost by increasing productivity. We really take a deeper dive into your processes. We work with a lot of data. We gather all the information. There's a lot of observations that are done, interviews that are done during the assessments in order to tackle your chronic issues and your day-to-day issues. The main deliverables from a standpoint, from an assessment standpoint, they range from overproduction. This is a very, very common waste that we have seen in the past, the months that we have established this program working with bioMérieux is, and the way we reduce the overproduction is we reduce the unnecessary process steps. We focus on value from a customer perspective, and we significantly eliminate the unnecessary steps that exist in your process. If something is not required, it is just not required. It needs to be, it doesn't need to exist in your process. Those steps are identified and significantly eliminated. At the same time, we standardize the process, maximize automation. You might have automation, you might have instrument in your labs, and the reason you buy instrument is to help you reduce turnaround time. But streamlining and optimizing that automation is where we come in and help you so that you best use the available instrument in the best possible way, getting the best out of that instrument. Reducing errors and improving or decreasing the turnaround time is another factor that we focus on from a lean perspective. Now, when I talk about lean tools, time is the primary metric. We really work on decreasing that turnaround time. When I talk about Six Sigma, we really focus on data, we focus on your errors, your reworks, a lot of not from a time perspective, but from a productivity perspective. That's where Six Sigma comes handy. What I have seen is some consultant, they just use lean or they just use Six Sigma. But our approach, the way it is different is we use both the methodologies so that we focus on turnaround time and productivity. Here's a good example, a recent example from some of the work that we did. This particular lab, if you can see, this was the flow that existed before our assessment. The current lab flow, the blue shaded arrows that you see was a common flow from sample reception to the lab. And then we have the yellow flow, which is Listeria-based, and the orange flow, which is Salmonella-based. As you can see, there's a lot of movement happening, unnecessary motion that's happening, a lot of transport that existed. Samples were being moved from one end of the lab to the other end. And what we suggested after our assessment is, for the future, as a future state, for the Salmonella process, this is what actually the lab required. A very, very optimized, streamlined flow. We moved all the instruments. We did a Kaizen activity in their lab. In a matter of 2 days, working with their facilities, we were able to just streamline their whole operations for the pathogens. This is for Salmonella. Again, this is for Listeria. That's the only movement that was actually required. Once you have everything in place, your staff properly allocated, and everything streamlined. I'm gonna just go back to the previous slide here. You see, this is where we started, a lot of movement happening, and then immediately after the assessment, using Lean and Six Sigma tools, this is what we ended up with. The second part of my presentation is more focused on a study that was done last year. Now, we did a comparison. We took 2 PCR studies, assays for Salmonella, and then we compared that with the widest assay for Salmonella. As I have already mentioned, the goal of Lean, is to reduce the time. The number of errors should be less, as well as the productivity should be increased. Keeping that in mind, what we did is we ran 72 and 53 samples on the PCR and 60 samples for Salmonella. Now, this is again based on proper sampling technique. These are the numbers that we selected. The time taken to perform each test in the process was analyzed, and also only post